So I'm back with a new episode. So this episode starts with the exact same scene where Emperor Yinfeng has activated his 9-dragon technique. Some of his golden dragons went straight after Rulai. Here, Rulai was somehow saving himself because he knows how extremely powerful heavenly dragons are. Meanwhile, Taoist Master, seeing their power, began to say, "O Majesty, you have come very close to becoming a true god." By then, a golden dragon had reached quite close to Taoist Master to injure him. So Taoist Master also activated his technique. He was saying that it is a matter of great regret that the divine bridge is now broken. Otherwise, you would have already become a true god. Well, in this lifetime, this isn't going to happen. Who knows? In the next life, you might become a deity. Well, here the water flow that Taoist Master had created contained who knows how many sword patterns. Here, Taoist Master began explaining that I tried to read the 14th chapter of Tao Sword, but unfortunately, I was only able to master half of that chapter. But no problem, whatever knowledge I have gained, I would like to use it against the Emperor so that I can get an idea of my strength. I don't know how long my incomplete technique will last before the Emperor. And now, right before our eyes, many yin-yang formations got activated. This multi-layered sword formation follows thousands and hundreds of thousands of sword essences. Inside this was present very pure sword essence that would annihilate every single thing coming in front of it. And in this way, Taoist Master's thousands and hundreds of thousands of swords arrived to kill the Emperor. But the Emperor directly reached in front of that formation, using his thunder power. Here, the flow of yin-yang swords was ready to kill him. But by then, the Emperor made his move. Here, he releases who knows how many of his slashes onto that formation. However, destroying this formation won't be an easy job because those swords had surrounded him from all sides, and now those yin-yang swords turn into spiritual birds. So the Emperor, in a very cool style, started slaying those spiritual birds. He was finishing off these spiritual birds one by one at lightning speed. But this cycle shows no sign of stopping because that formation had formed several more spiritual beasts over there. That is why the Emperor, using his sword essence, pulled out who knows how many golden dragons from his sword, and now those golden dragons, moving at high speed, started attacking those spiritual birds. In a short while, several explosions began happening there, and finally, Taoist Master's formation collapsed as well. However, that guy himself moved to the side before coming into the strike of the dragon. Here, the Emperor had proven his dominance. No technique can suppress his dragons. If this were a one-on-one battle, the Emperor would have defeated Taoist Master long ago. But unfortunately, Master Rulai is also present there, and he immediately became ready to launch a second attack on the Emperor. He had formed who knows how many Bodhi hands here. Well, this is one of Master Rulai's most powerful techniques. Until now, he had not used his full power. But now, he became completely serious about killing the Emperor. Now, all his Tathagata forms began merging together, and from them appeared a powerful Tathagata form, which attacks Emperor Yankong with its palm. On the other side, Yankong's Emperor was also not ready to back down. Using his dragon power, he started countering that palm. On this side, Master Rulai began telling him, "Your Majesty, your Yankong is the most sacred land of this world. Inside the ground there, who knows how many dragon veins are found, and on that very land your imperial city was established. You cultivate on that very land, and because of this reason, you get the benefit of the power of the dragon veins. The pure and strong essence of the dragon makes your body strong. This is actually a blessing that heaven bestowed upon you. If we talk about your cultivation, it has reached an extreme higher level. You can even pierce earth and heaven. If the divine bridge existed, you could indeed become a true god. To tell you the truth, you are one of the strongest beings in this world. If both of us hadn't fought you together, we would never have been able to defeat you." Meaning, Master Rulai was also ready to accept that even he doesn't have the ability to defeat the Emperor. That was the reason he brought Taoist Master with him, so that he could get help in finishing off the Emperor. Master Rulai was saying that there is a very famous scripture of our mountain. You must have heard about it too. So, I want to challenge your 9-dragon Emperor technique with the power of my Taoist scripture. Let's see whose technique is more powerful, yours or mine. But in my opinion, Master Rulai has no right to test the Emperor's powers. He had already heavily injured the Emperor along with Taoist Master. There were two of them, and the Emperor was alone, so this match was not fair at all from any angle. But who can make Rulai understand this? He had made up his mind that he would annihilate the Emperor, and in that moment, Rulai activated his ultimate technique. As soon as that move opened, the Emperor began seeing many heavenly eyes in front of him. One after another, golden eyes kept opening, and now all the pressure of that heavenly technique began showing on the Emperor's body. His defensive shield was also unable to stand before this pressure, due to which blood began coming out of the Emperor's eyes. His internal organs were getting damaged. He started seeing Rulai's golden forms in front of his eyes, and they were quite numerous. The heavenly pressure of all these forms kept falling upon him. And indeed, there was no answer to this technique of Master Rulai. It was quite terrifying. So these were the 20 heavens forms of the Great Scripture. Well, not just these forms were present here. Rather, Rulai had also added the sword technique of the 14th chapter of Tao's sword into it. The Emperor had also realized that Master Rulai had completely made up his mind to kill him. Otherwise, he would never use such a terrifying technique. He began thinking in his heart that Rulai perhaps wants to snatch even the last chance of my survival from me. Well, the Emperor had only one option left now, to use all his remaining energy to fight against this. That's why, putting in all his strength, he started trying against this pressure. But finally, that pressure created complete dominance over him. Here, the heavy pressure of Rulai's forms gave the Emperor a heavy thrashing. Every single organ present in his body was now getting damaged. If we talk about the Emperor's power, he would somehow handle even this technique. But Taoist Master is also present there, and he wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. He quickly activated the yin-yang formations, meaning, now the Emperor will be attacked from both sides. It was a very crucial moment. If attacks happened from both sides, the Emperor's game would be finished right here. But at that exact moment, Qin Mu's two grandpas made their entry there. Elder Ma and Elder Blind had reached there. Now, seeing both of them there, Master Rulai and Taoist Master had to stop their attacks. Taoist Master started saying in his heart that these two guys are just as powerful as Rulai and me. If they side with the Emperor, we will lose the battle. Master Rulai began saying to those two, I am happy to meet old friends. Tell me, how did you come to be here? To which Elder Blind says, we came here in search of someone, but it seems you people are in quite a rush. Look how fast you're fighting. Anyway, we apologize for this intrusion of ours. Now, as soon as he heard this, Rulai immediately vanished his golden pot. Otherwise, he was ready to fight against these two as well. And now Rulai asks, tell me then, what was the reason for coming here? To which Elder Blind says, have you seen a woman here? To which one of the three old demons began asking, tell me, exactly which woman are you looking for? So Elder Blind says, I am talking about that person who is extremely beautiful. Once you see her face, you will never be able to forget her. That woman is not ordinary at all. Her body is possessed by an ancient demon lord, and that guy wants to steal her body and rule the whole world. If you talk about her enchanting technique, there is no match for it. No matter how powerful you are, no one can stop you from falling into her trap. At first, we thought we could subdue that demon at the hands of Master Rulai, and because of this, we took that woman to the Great Thunderclap Monastery. But even Rulai couldn't control her, and now that woman has run away from there. We are looking for her. Now, hearing this, Elder Ma was saying, there is no need to beat around the bush like this. Come straight to the point. So Elder Blind revealed, I am talking about the former sect leader of the heavenly demon sect, Tian Sheng. He has taken possession of Xiu's body. Now, as soon as they heard this, everyone panicked. Elder Blind says that Master Rulai and his cronies tried their best to suppress him. But perhaps these people are also not powerful enough to hold Tian Sheng. Now that woman has escaped from there. Rulai didn't have time to catch her, because he got busy killing the Emperor. Now Taoist Master began asking Rulai, tell me, who are these two guys? To which Rulai says, one of them is my eldest disciple. and the other is the spear god, also known by the name Elder Blind. Now, hearing this, Taoist master began saying in astonishment, "These two are legendary figures. I had only heard discussions about them until today." And in that moment, the White Guardian of the Heavenly Demon Sect said to both of them, "We had come to save the Emperor on the order of our cult master Qin Mu. But these two people set up a formation and separated the Emperor from us. They cheated us, so please help us defeat them." To which Elder Ma began saying, "We are people of great Tao. We do not get involved in the matters of this world. And anyway, the order was given to you by your cult master Qin Mu. He didn't tell us anything. Therefore, we cannot get caught up in this matter. And anyway, our matter is much more urgent than this issue. If this emperor dies, another emperor will be placed on the throne. What's new in that? But if that demon is freed, the whole world will suffer from it." And now Elder Blind began asking the emperor, "Have you ever seen Li Tiansheng's wife, Xiao?" To which the emperor replied with a no. So Elder Blind says, "It's good that you didn't see that woman, otherwise you would have completely lost yourself in her love, and then your wife would have left you, and this kingdom would also be ruined." Here the emperor, in his injured state, began saying to Elder Blind, "I request before you, please help me." However, Elder Blind refused. He says, "We outcasts do not want to get caught up in the matters of Yongkong." And then both of them set off from there to look for Granny C. Now this scene cuts right here, and we can see the dragon Qilin, whose heart was now on the verge of bursting. He, panting, began saying, "Young master, now I cannot run." And saying just this much, he falls flat on the ground. Seeing his condition, Qin Mu was saying, "Because of this, I gave you the idea of dieting. Now you have become fat like a buffalo. Not nimble at all. Just wait and watch. On the New Year's feast, you alone will be served on the table." But it makes no difference to the dragon Qilin. He just kept panting heavily so that he could somehow recover his vitality. On this side, Qin Mu saw that he is still far from the battlefield, and he was feeling quite irritated. Therefore, he decides that he will now use the teleportation technique. But right then, two guys pass by there at high speed, and those people, taking Qin Mu along, reach near him immediately. Well, these are Elder Blind and Elder Ma. Elder Ma was quite surprised to see Qin Mu there. Meanwhile, Elder Blind says, "It's good that my eyes are sharp, otherwise this Ma wouldn't even be able to see you. Tell me, did the great Thunderclap Monastery bully you after we left?" To which Qin Mu replied with a no. He says, "A lot of bad things are happening here today. Master Rulai and Taoist Master together want to slay the Emperor." So Elder Ma began telling him, "What's new in this? Until today, who knows how many emperors have been killed?" At the same time, Elder Blind says to Qin Mu, "You don't need to worry about that emperor. A bigger issue than him is Li Tiansheng. That guy can control anyone. If he took possession of Xiao's body, we will lose your Granny C forever." So Qin Mu says to them, "You don't need to worry about Granny C, because I have already met her. Actually, Li Tiansheng didn't take possession of her body. Rather, she herself doesn't want to come to Great Tao. She fears that because of her, all of you might fall into danger. I know where Granny C is, but before that, I want you to help me save the Emperor." To which Grandpa Blind began saying, "Qin Mu, my boy, you want to save that Emperor, but we are already quite late. Master Rulai and Taoist Master, both are extremely powerful. Even if the Imperial Preceptor himself went there, even he wouldn't be able to save the Emperor." Now Qin Mu got an even bigger shock. Until now, he was thinking that the Imperial Preceptor must definitely be with the Emperor. However, those two elders revealed that we didn't see the Preceptor anywhere. Now, hearing this, Qin Mu was saying, "No, I cannot let the Emperor die." So Elder Blind began telling him, "Oh yes, many people from your sect were also present there, and just by looking at their condition, it was clear that they got a really good thrashing." To which Qin Mu was saying, "Every single person in my sect is a genius. They can teleport anywhere whenever they want." And now Qin Mu started buttering up his elders. He was saying, "I know you stay away from the affairs of this world, but this time you will have to help me. Please go there and save the Emperor, Otherwise, an evil emperor will take his place, and then he will create chaos in this world. That guy's next target will be me. He's going to wipe out my demon sect along with me. Well, Qin Mu was clearly emotionally blackmailing these two here. He knows that his elders cannot be convinced just like that. He said to both of them, "Do you want that guy to chase after me day and night to hunt me down?" So finally Elder Ma says, "All right, we are ready to help you." Anyway, Rulai and Taoist Master have both grown old. They cannot use their power for very long. You wait for us right here. We will arrive here with the Emperor's dead body. Now, hearing this, Qin Mu said, "What did you say? Dead body?" So his grandpa, flying away from there, began saying, "As far as we know, Master Rulai and Taoist Master together must have finished off the Emperor by now." And now we are shown the story of a little while ago, where the Emperor was facing the moves of both these masters together. Seeing the Emperor's struggle, Master Rulai started thinking in his heart that this guy is not ready to accept defeat at all. If there was someone else in his place, he would have been killed long ago, but he is still trying to save himself. Therefore, he said to Taoist Master, "Now we should end this game quickly. We cannot give the Emperor any chance at all." And saying just this much, Master Rulai attacked the Emperor using his golden pot. This pot was extremely heavy, due to which the Emperor goes straight and hits a mountain. By then, Taoist Master had also activated his yin-yang power. He had formed a realm there, inside which the Emperor got completely trapped, and now we were shown their intense swordplay. Taoist Master had the technique of Tao's sword, while on the other side, the Emperor had dragon energy, and this was the reason that despite being so injured, the Emperor was putting up a good fight against Taoist Master. In fact, that Master also became quite impressed seeing this resolve of the Emperor. But they have to annihilate the Emperor at any cost. So, he knocked the sword out of the Emperor's hand, and then, finding an opportunity, attacks him with his yin-yang seal. This attack happened straight on the Emperor's core, and dragging along, he reached right near Rulai, where Rulai also began using his punches on him. Master Rulai was in full form. He just wanted to beat the Emperor like a punching bag. Here, the Emperor was trying his best to somehow counter Rulai's punches, but now his condition became even worse, due to which Rulai establishes his dominance over him. With his quite terrifying golden punches, Rulai was breaking every single bone of the Emperor so that the guy doesn't even remain fit to dodge, and then, with one of his extremely terrifying punches, dragged the Emperor quite far back. Here, the Emperor was vomiting blood, but his courage must be praised. This guy had not given up yet. Using his remaining essence, he activated the Nine-Dragon technique. But by then, Taoist Master reaches there, and in a single slash of his, he destroyed all of the Emperor's dragons. And even this didn't satisfy that Master. So using his yin-yang swords, he released thousands and hundreds of thousands of slashes on the Emperor. Their every single slash kept ripping through the Emperor's body from the inside, due to which the Emperor became extremely weak, and finally Taoist Master thrust his most powerful sword right through him. The Emperor's struggle failed completely. Taoist Master proved too strong for him, and now Taoist Master, with a single powerful slash of his, knocked him far away. But accidentally, due to this, the Emperor reached near his sword, so he quickly summons his sword. Here he became ready once again to fight, but by then, Rulai reached in front of him. That guy, using his power, started melting the Emperor's sword like iron. That sword became so hot that the Emperor was forced to let go of it. And taking advantage of this, Rulai hit a very terrifying punch right on his face, after which he also activated his Tathagata form, which had several hands. Golden runes began appearing everywhere, and finally, he starts suppressing the Emperor under his Bodhi hand. Here, the Emperor, putting in all his force, started countering that palm. But now the Emperor's power was almost exhausted, and on the other side, Rulai was increasing his pressure. Who knows how many Bodhi palms began stacking one on top of another, due to which immense pressure was being released on the Emperor. Seeing such a condition of the Emperor, his generals also panicked greatly. But the Emperor had still not given up. He was using the last drop of his power. But Rulai was no less either. He had also put all his strength at stake. He was using his entire power on this very move, due to which finally the Emperor began getting crushed under it. Rulai's extremely terrifying energy was being released there. If an ordinary cultivator came here, his body would shatter on the spot. That pressure was that heavy. And now we are shown the story of a little while later. Rulai and Taoist Master had both calmed down. They felt that they had killed the Emperor. They were just waiting for the smoke present there to clear. But here we can see that Emperor Yanfeng is still alive. His 9 golden dragons were also lying around him in an injured state. Guys, just imagine, Master Rulai and Taoist Master, both of them are extremely powerful. These two lead ancient sects, and the foundation of their cultivation is thousands of years old. But still, even by combining the powers of both, these people were not able to kill Emperor Yanfeng until now. Emperor Yanfeng is truly a genius. Rulai began saying, his blood and his essence are extremely pure, but his cultivation fell short. If he could have raised his cultivation level, we could never have defeated him. Anyway, now the Emperor's lamp is on the verge of burning out. In a short while, he will be killed. But these people did not want to take any risks. Therefore, Taoist Master formed his Yin-Yang seal once again. And now another one of his swords appeared here. He is completely sure that after this final attack, Emperor Yanfeng's story will be finished, and these people can finally place a new emperor on the throne. Here, Emperor Yanfeng was also angrily facing his death. There was not the slightest fear in his eyes. But in that moment, Elder Blind's stick reached there. That bamboo stick, as soon as it came, attacked Taoist Master's sword, due to which that sword directly went and clashed with Rulai. Rulai, at high speed, started fighting against Elder Blind's stick, and along with this, here he also uses his golden bowl, from which strong golden energy gets released and pushes Elder Blind backward. Elder Blind began saying to him, "Oh wow, you have impressive skills. I think you made your cultivation quite solid. If we talk about powers, after a few years you can even beat the power of our village chief." Actually, Grandpa Blind had made all these compliments so that he could distract the attention of Rulai and Taoist Master. By the time all of them could understand this, Emperor Yanfeng had vanished from there. Taoist Master began saying, "That guy was quite cunning. Distracting us with talk, he carried the Emperor away. But this is not going to be of any benefit. Emperor Yanfeng's life force has been completely drained. Every single spiritual vein present in his body has shattered. Along with this, his wall of luminaries has also been completely damaged." To which Master Rulai says, "We should have finished him off. Even if those people save the Emperor, he won't remain as powerful as before. He is completely broken from the inside. Such a crippled Emperor cannot run a state." On this side, Qin Mu was very eagerly waiting for their return. Meanwhile, the Dragon Qilin sat down and started snoring. But in that exact moment, Emperor Yanfeng is thrown onto his body, due to which the poor Dragon Qilin panicked greatly. Meanwhile, Elder Blind began telling Qin Mu, "Look, we have arrived with the dead body." Therefore, Qin Mu first went and checked his pulses. Finally, Qin Mu felt a sigh of relief because he was still breathing. If Elder Blind had not reached there at the right time, perhaps the Emperor would have been killed. And then Qin Mu, using his divine senses, checked his body from the inside. He saw that his every single meridian had completely shattered. The world of 5 luminaries was also ruined and destroyed. And now the Emperor's life force also began dissipating from his body. That's why Qin Mu quickly started using his power. If he didn't bind this life force quickly, the Emperor too would be killed like Heavenly King Lu. So here, Qin Mu used the creation of demonic art, so that the Emperor's soul could be fixed inside his own body. Here, Emperor Yanfeng's soul was on the verge of scattering, but Qin Mu, with his creation technique, put it back into the same body again. But treating the Emperor quickly was extremely important. That's why Qin Mu took the decision that he will treat him at Granny C's house itself, which was just a short distance from here. Just then, Elder Blind says to him, "You head straight towards Shio's house. Many people will try to block your path, so both of us will handle those people. You just focus on healing the Emperor." Well, on the way, Qin Mu fed him some elixirs as well. With this elixir, there could be a little improvement in his vitality. Qin Mu says that the emperor was extremely powerful. If he hadn't suffered such brutal attacks, he could have lived for about 300 to 400 more years. But after this incident, he will only be able to live like a normal guy. He doesn't have many years left now, and Qin Mu was sad about this. Here, Emperor Yanfeng regained a little consciousness. He saw that Qin Mu had saved him, and by then Qin Mu reached straight to Granny Ci's house. Granny Ci began saying to him, "Oh my goodness, you brought the emperor himself with you. Don't tell me you want to sew clothes out of his skin and become the emperor yourself? Oh wow, child, you are quite ambitious. You don't even want to spare the emperor." To which Qin Mu, blushing, began saying, "No way. I have no such intention. I want to treat the emperor." Inside the emperor's body, there is complete chaos. Every single meridian has shattered, and also the energy of the world of his 5 luminaries is on the verge of exploding. If he is not healed in a proper manner, his body can tear up at any time. So now Qin Mu handed the emperor straight over to Granny Ci. He began saying to her, "Please use your creation power to keep his soul attached to his body while I return with necessary medicinal herbs. And yes, Granny, promise me that you won't sew clothes from his body." To which Granny Ci says, "No, I am not going to do any such thing, but you will have to return before night falls. You already know that at night, Li Tiansheng takes over my body. If he finds the emperor in front of him, he will kill him in a single stroke, and then he himself will rule over everyone as the emperor of Yangkong." Now, as soon as he heard this, Qin Mu set off from there at top speed. Why was Qin Mu calling this terrifying woman his granny? I have heard that Li Tiansheng was killed, so what is he doing here? Meaning, whether Granny Ci is here or Li Tiansheng, we will find out in the next episode. If you guys are enjoy this video, then do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Take care.